My name's Kian Aquino. I'm born and raised in Kailua.
And what age did you start surfing?
I started surfing when I was pretty young, probably in like kindergarten, so I was like 6 or 7. I remember my friends and I really getting into it, and we would ride our bikes down to the beach with our surfboards pretty much every day after school. And that's pretty much when it started for me.
Does anyone else in your family surf?
Yeah, almost everyone in my family surfs. My dad, my younger sister surfs, my older brother, and kind of that little community within our family. Just to have the activity to share together is like pretty awesome to be able to do that.
And like, how did you get into surfing?
It's my dad. Growing up, I was never really into playing football or basketball. There was like a small season, but my dad never forced me to get into sport leagues, and he would just take us surfing like every day. And kind of just by watching him surfing, that really inspired me to do that.
And who inspires you in the surfing world?
My dad, but also my uncle Reno. He was a pro surfer in the 70s, 80s, and he used to win a lot of contests. He was super famous, and I think always looking up to him as an icon, like not only in the surf world, but like in my family. That inspired me a lot to try to push my surfing past the envelope.
Where do you surf the most?
Well, I grew up surfing like pretty junk waves, like novelty waves in Kailua, but once I got into like my teenage years, I started surfing in town a lot, pretty much anywhere from Kaisers to Kiwalos, and still to this day, that's where I surf the most.
Have you ever competed, and why not compete more?
When I was a little kid, I actually really wanted to be a pro surfer, so I started competing in contests, and eventually I stopped doing them because I didn't like the aspect of, I think, fighting a bunch of other kids for waves, and most of my desire was to go out there and just have fun. I liked surfing with only a couple guys out for about 30 minutes, but eventually I kind of grew out of that phase, and surfing for me was all about just enjoying myself and being out in the water.
Why do you continue surfing? What constantly draws you towards surfing?
Surfing is such a special thing to me because it's never the same. And I think that's part of what makes it so interesting and so fun, is because every session is different, every wave is new. You're adjusting to the conditions, you're adjusting to people in the lineup, and that's all a part of the high of surfing, is getting that new experience every time, and that's what draws me back to the water.
How long have I known Kian? Maybe about 2 years now. I've known Kian for about 2 years, and we actually met surfing base one time. Like, I saw him catch this like sick right, and I was like, man, that was a sick wave. So I paddled over to him, and I was like, how was that right? And then we talked about the wave, and then we talked the whole rest of the session actually, and then from there on, pretty much became good friends actually. Kian's actually given me a good amount of help with like bettering my surfing definitely, because like with him watching, sometimes like he'll be able to like fix my turns or like give me tips on like pop-ups or like foot placement. So he's definitely helped me a lot, because it's great getting knowledge from someone who's like kind of way past like my skill level. So I really benefit from him helping me out and like pointing out things I need to correct to better my surfing. I really appreciate it, actually.
We surf together pretty often, and I'd say about 50% of the time we're surfing, and then the other 50% I'm filming. So like all kind shots, so like water or land, and just trying to get different angles. We'll normally just shoot on base because I have base access. Sometimes Kiwalos. It's actually funny because I remember this shot right here. His hand slipped and he like got straight sucked over. It's so funny.